This has been a difficult and different kind of season for ministry here at Liberty Baptist Church. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you and how you have stayed engaged and helped us to navigate this season of the pandemic. And as we move forward, I know that what you're looking for are personal choices for you and your family. And in order to make those choices, you need to know your available options. And so I'm happy to announce some new available options that you will have for both in-person and online gatherings here at Liberty Baptist Church as we move into the fall. Beginning August the 2nd, our service times at the Highway 76 campus are going to be 8:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. We will be resuming our children's ministries at that 11 a.m. service time at the Highway 76 campus. That means that our nursery will be open at 11 a.m. Our preschool and our doc ministries will resume on August the 2nd at 11 a.m. at the Highway 76 campus. There will be the 8:30 service time, but there will not be children's options available for that 8:30 service time. So that 8:30 service time may be great for those of you who maybe feel like you don't want to be in as big of a crowd and you'll be able to social distance a little bit more. Maybe you don't have children and you feel more comfortable coming to an earlier service. That 8:30 time may be a great option for you. So that's an exciting thing for us at the Highway 76 campus, that we'll be able to have an 8:30 and 11 a.m. worship service beginning August the 2nd. We will continue to have our 11 a.m. worship service at the Fort Oglethorpe campus, but beginning August the 2nd, we will also be having the same life group time at both campuses, 10 a.m. So that means we'll have 10 a.m. life groups at Highway 76, 10 a.m. life groups at the Fort Oglethorpe campus. And so we want to be able to make those options available for you to regather with your life groups. And hopefully by that time, many of our life groups will be resuming in person and also online. And I'll tell you more about that here in just a moment. So what if you're not ready to return to an in-person gathering? What are going to be the options for you if you're just saying, hey, for health choices or other choices, we're just, as a family, we're going to stay home. Hey, we want you to stay connected and engaged. So what are going to be the things that we're going to be offering beginning August the 2nd for you? Beginning August the 2nd, we're going to be offering some ways that your family can engage in the worship services that you watch online. You know, whether we're in person or online, we don't want to just come to a worship service. We're supposed to respond to the worship services. So we're going to be attaching questions and discussions and ways that you as a family can respond to each of the worship services that you watch online. If you have children, we want to make sure that you are on our delivery list. Even currently right now, for our preschool and children, we are delivering weekly materials to them. If you're not getting those weekly materials and you want to have those things so that you can have life group and different things at home with your children, please email Melissa at libertybaptistchurch.ws. Again, that's Melissa at libertybaptistchurch.ws, and we'll get you on that delivery list for your children. We're also working to make a hybrid option for each and every one of our classes, whether it's a life group class or very soon we'll be resuming our Wednesday night classes. Those that are in person, we also want to be able to make it so that you can watch them online. So again, in person or online, we want you to be able to be a part of each of our classes, however you choose to do that. It takes a lot of time, money, and technology to pull off. So we're working toward that end, but just bear with us as we bring more and more of those hybrid classes online. But ultimately, we have to remember, whether it's in person or online, the call of Christ is not for us to just watch. The call of Christ is for God's people to engage. And we're going to be talking more about this in a sermon series that I'm excited to bring to you this fall called Together. You know, Jesus called us not to just be a part of a church, not just watch a church, but He called us to engage with one another. He used the words love one another. 5 times Jesus told us to love one another. And then that command explodes throughout the New Testament. The Bible tells us to pray for one another, encourage one another, to fellowship with one another. How are we going to not just appear online, but how are we going to engage? How are we going to love one another, encourage one another, forgive one another, pray for one another when we come to a service and we can't even sit by one another? I mean, these are challenging times, whether you do it online or in person. We've got to be able to navigate that personal engagement that Christ calls us to so that we don't disconnect and fall away. And so please make an effort, August the 2nd, to be a part of that sermon series together. As those several weeks we walk through, how do we get together in this new season of life and ministry as we navigate this pandemic? So be considering that question. How are you and your family going to engage with the people of God this fall? As always, be monitoring our website, libertybaptistchurch.ws, and our app is always a great thing to have, LBC Engage, on your phone. We'll send you push notifications. And, you know, we're monitoring the situation week to week. And yes, there probably will be disruption and there probably will be changes. So our website, libertybaptistchurch.ws, and our app, LBC Engage, are going to be the best ways to stay up to date on all the great things going on at Liberty. So we've gotten through the big changes, the big disruptions. We've got to learn to deal with a new normal. But how do we as a people of God do what Christ commands us to do? And that is somehow not just watch one another, but get together. And whether we do that in person or online, I want to encourage you and your family to be thinking of how can I up the way that I've been engaging? Hey, we've had a great summer. We've navigated a difficult situation. I think it's time for us to take another step to get back together so we don't disconnect and fall away. So, hey, I hope to see you, whether it's in person or online, here at Liberty Baptist Church. Hey, thanks for watching, and be ready for these great new changes coming to Liberty on August the 2nd. God bless.